April 17th.
April 17th. Okay, now last night, we did not get a chance to get to this part of the interview. Because of all the technology in the space program, they've developed all these other things for civilian use, right? Clothing and various things. Shall we, or do we look at them here, or do we go over here?
Over there.
Well, shall we go over here?
Sure.
Okay. Now, we might as well start here, since this is the most obvious, right?
Well,
this obvious is the space suit that the guys wear, right?
this was a duplicate of the spacesuit that went to the moon.
Right.
It's actually a miniature spaceship. What it does is it provides oxygen and removes carbon dioxide, removes body wastes, controls body temperature,
Right.
provides pressure, protects you against environments that if you face the sun would heat you up to 460 degrees above zero, and if you face away from the sun would cool you down to 250 degrees below zero.
Yeah, now this looks very bulky, but of course most people I'm sure know that gravity is about 1/6 on the moon as to what it is here.
It weighs about 30 pounds when you're walking around on the moon.
Yeah, and if you had to walk around on Earth, this would be terribly cumbersome, wouldn't it?
Very, very cumbersome.
But you saw them. Remember when they were skipping along the moon? This thing weighs very little on the moon.
That's right. One very interesting thing about this garment is that if you were to try to get into it and do work, it would be like stepping into a closet, closing the door, and trying to do deep knee bends when the closet was heated up to 95 degrees. You overheat tremendously. So in order to solve that problem,
Right.
we had to come up with a fix that would enable people to work in hot environments. And this was the fix that was developed.
Okay, let's go over here now. And what is this?
This is called a liquid-cooled garment. It's the first thing an astronaut puts on
This
before
goes
he gets in.
Oh, I see. This is like long johns.
It's like long johns, only it's got tubes stitched into it. And these tubes are hooked up to a pump.
Oh, all through here.
All through.
Yeah, plastic tubing.
It's hooked up to a pump, and that pump is driven by cold water and a battery that's in this backpack.
Right.
And the harder you work, the colder the water you ask for. And we discovered something very interesting about this. Contrary to what a lot of people think,
Right.
sweating is just not all that good for you.
Well, it's not. That's what they used to say. If you perspire heavily, that's good. It brings out all...
Yeah, but when you sweat, in order to sweat, you have to be under stress.
Yeah. Now, do they make these things for, say, people who have to work outdoors under terrible temperatures, or would you have to
As
have
a matter
this
of
kind
fact,
of gear?
You would if you were in space, but
Right.
there is a contractor for NASA that's developed a miniature version of this that anybody can wear.
Right.
Want to try this on?
Conditions. Nancy?
Well, Brian, climate-controlled clothing is no longer science fiction. Bioengineer Dr. Lawrence Kuznets, designer of astronaut spacesuits, has applied space technology and space-age fibers to create Techniclothes. Now then, Larry, before we get into the future, let's talk about what's available at the present. This mannequin is wearing a mini cooling system in the cap, right?
This is right, Nancy. What we have here is, in this ordinary-looking hat, is really a cooling system. If we open it up, it contains a pouch. And inside of it, the first thing we see is insulation that's derived from spacesuits, and the second thing we see is this cooling gel pack. The gel pack stays cool for over an hour and cools the part of the body where we lose 40% of our body heat normally, giving us a sense of comfort.
How do you get this cold?
It's simply placed in the freezer, and it's semi-solid when it comes out. Each one lasts an hour and is reusable many times over.
Is this similar to the gel that you see in the cool packs for coolers and the baby's teething ring?
It's the same principle, but it lasts a lot longer. The formula has been changed substantially, again using space technology. Now, if you want to last more than an hour, you use this container over here, which is a mini thermos. It contains up to 4 or 5 of these packs. You can wear it around your belt or over your shoulder, giving you up to 6 hours of continuous cooling.
So as you warm up, you just exchange your cooling
Exchange
packs.
it for another
Well,
one.
I noticed this mannequin has some of these cooling systems in the pockets, too.
This is a pair of pants for cooling the lower body. Again, we have spacesuit insulation here to insulate it from the heat of the sun. It carries cartridges and cools the lower body.
And you can turn these around so that the pockets are in the back.
In the back and the side, we also have a wristband that does the same thing.
And the running top is not an ordinary running top for women. This is a special kind of bra.
No, the most interesting thing about this is that it combines man-made fiber technology and space technology in that this was designed by a computer. Most athletic halter systems or bras treat one force. This treats 3, which is what's necessary: uplift, separation, and compression.
Larry, let's go on to the year